Well, this deck continues to haunt me even in my nightmares. It's so bad. So, we recently discovered in real life here that Dinomist aren't inherently a bad deck. And it only thoroughly took me getting my asshole pushed in to realize that. Then we covered the locals deck profile, and then we saw that Dinomist topped regional. And I was kind of like, huh, well, that's coinky dinky. Like, what happened there? And then the YCS Sydney comes and goes, and then top 64, I see Dinomist. I'm like, huh, maybe it wasn't a quinky dink. Maybe it was destiny that I just got destroyed by this deck. To kind of see how people are messing with the concepts and evolving it. Because in the grand scheme of things, there's not a lot of room that you get to mess around with within the Dinomist deck itself. Like, things are kind of packed in there pretty tight. I mean, you get access to move around a few options here and there, but it's kind of crazy just how limited you can be when constructing this deck. Now, what makes Dinomist so good, you ask? Well, it's all because of this stupid card right here, Dinomist Howling. So when this card is activated, you can place 1 or 2 pendulum monsters from your deck in your pendulum zones, but you cannot pendulum summon monsters until the end of the next turn except for Dinomist. And I think it's very important to understand that you cannot pendulum summon, anything other than these guys. Now, also, if this card is already face up in your spell trap card zone, you contribute 1 Dinomist monster, and then you can target 1 card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. Ladies and gentlemen, they decided to give a deck that's kind of subpar the best support ever. This is I would almost compare this to Worms support. Worms, for the longest time, weren't doing that great, and then all of a sudden, they give them this right here, and it's like, oh, you kick off so hard. And then, like, it's great. It's really cool to see that only 1 card kind of makes the difference. Now, all of the Dinomist cards inherently themselves all have a scale pendulum effect that can kind of do stuff. So, the first one is, while this card is in your pendulum zone, you can negate an activated effect that targets another Dinomist card or cards you control, and then destroy this target. So, this also... Yeah, that's right. It says another card. So, yeah, that's pretty cute. Of course, this is the same blanketed effect. Now, if another Dinomist card you control be destroyed by battle, or an opponent's card effect instead, you can pop this guy. It's kind of almost Protect the Castle-esque in terms of things, but it's not bad. Now, something I did like about this build: reveal any number of pendulum monsters from your hand and shuffle them into the deck, and then draw cards equal to the number of cards you shuffled into the deck, +1. For the rest of the turn after this card resolves, you cannot draw cards by card effects. You can only activate 1 Ignite Reload per turn. So, this kind of does beg the question of, you would Desires first, and then you can shuffle in whatever else you don't want, and then you get a fresh new hand of cards that you want to play the game with, which is pretty good. I think when playing this deck, it just becomes a priority order of just resolving the correct effects before you start shutting yourself off from certain things. And Ignite Reload, perfect example to helping out this toolbox deck. And I also like the ratios presented on this deck a little bit more than what we've seen. I do like the fact of having the Speedroid that can special summon itself to help turbo make Electromite, but it doesn't always have to be the case. You don't always have to turbo into this guy. I mean, it helps, but, take it for what it's worth. So, this is a little bit of love to our friends, the Dinomist, top 64 edition at YCS Sydney. So, of course, triple copies of Ye Olde Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. No real explanation needed. I do think that you do need to play some sort of hand traps to full capacity. Only 2 copies of Achilles, so it's monster effect. Banish any monster destroyed by battle with a Dinomist monster. And, of course, it is a 6 scale for protection. Not a super big fan of this one. I can understand why it is at 2 here. Now, of course, we have triple copies of Brachion. If you do not control a Dinomist Brachion in your monster zone and your opponent controls a monster with the highest attack on the field, you can special summon this guy from your hand. So as long as I don't have one of these guys, I can combo extend this out, so get ready to set up my Electromite, right? Who doesn't love a deck that can go second? I certainly don't. But, so just the standard extender. Now, of course, we have triple copies of Dinomist Ceratops. If a monster you control are Dinomist, minimum 1, and None of them are Dinomist Ceratops. You can special summon this guy from your hand. Yay! More extenders! What I always wanted. Now, this is the one that always kind of ruins my asshole. So, all face-up monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack and defense for each Dinomist card you control. Those scales that you've got sitting over there in a corner and things like that, those do count towards the power down for this. You set up a Howling, yeah, you're good to go. It's kind of crazy. Like, once this guy starts to hit the field, like, you kind of start to get powered down. Now, of course, we have triple copies of Petron. When this guy destroys opponent's monster by battle, you can add a Dinomist card from your deck to your hand. It's kind of scary if you play against a slower deck, because then you can start invoking those pluses off of this guy. You're going to be surprised how quickly those card advantages kind of start to add up very quickly. Like, it's kind of crazy. Now, of course, 2 copies of Dinomist Rex. I love this. Now, Rexy Boy does a couple of things here. So if this card attacks, at the end of the damage step, you can tribute one of your other Dinomist monsters to activate one of these effects. So you can make this guy make a second attack on another monster in a row. And if it attacks a defensive monster, you will get trample. Or you can shuffle one card in your opponent's hand at random to their side of the field into the deck, and this guy gains 100 attack. I don't know why you had to give it 100 attack, because it's not like it's making another attack. But, yeah. This card will plow through a whole field and just smile at your opponent. Enjoy ripping free cards from your opponent's hand. Of course, we have 2 copies of Spinos, so you can tribute one of the Dinomist to activate one of these effects. This card can attack your opponent directly this turn, or this card can make a second attack during each battle phase this turn. It doesn't have to be on a monster, by the way. Interesting to note. And then, of course, we have 2 copies of Stegosaur. If another Pendulum monster control battles opponent's monster have damage calculation, you can destroy those monsters. 1,600, and you can make both detonate each other. Pretty cute. Okay. Of course, we have triple copies of Ghost Ogre, and just reinsurance for the hand traps. Now, we have triple Dinomist Charge. When this card is activated, you can add a Dinomist from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, if a Dinomist card is added from the field to your extra deck face-up, to add one of those cards to your hand. Of course, you can only activate 1 Dinomist Charge per turn. They don't want you overloading these guys, because this card is the fucking tits. Like, built-in Rhoda and recurability, literally, this deck kind of scares me the more I look at it. Like, ugh. Of course, we have 2 Ignite Reload, kind of the thing that I think fixes a lot of this deck's problems. Triple copies of Desires. I know a lot of people be like, oh, why am I playing Desires in this? Like, why? Because you need resources. A card that says Draw 2 is not inherently bad, because it does allow you to further get into your resource pool. Now, of course, we have triple copies of Howling, a card that will mess up a lot of plans. And, of course, triple copies of Infinite Impermanence, because, well, you know, hand traps are pretty good. Packing in 9 of them. Now, the extra deck down here is where things start to get spicy. We have 1 copy of Summon Sorceress. We have 1 copy of Kagari. 1 copy of Cleefort Genius. 1 Miss Starboy. 1 copy of Isolde. 1 copy of Electromite. 1 copy of Totally Awesome. 1 Dante. 1 Cyber Dragon Nova. 1 Infinity. 1 Bahamut Shark. 1 Abyss Dweller. 2 copies of Thunder Dragon Colossus. And 1 Chimera Mega Fleet. Now, yes, you can make Infinity. Level 5, easy. No problem. Getting into Nova on top of it, sure. Making Bahamut Shark, everybody's water. So you can get a free Toad. Well, Electromite, Bahamut, Toad, like, pff, no problem. 1 Ascendance of Thunder Dragons to make Colossus? Sure, we can do that. I actually think that that's probably the spiciest play in this deck. You board in Thunder Dragons, and then use the effect search for 1, and then you can grab 2, pendulum summon both of them, make double Colossus. It's actually pretty spicy. I actually never would have thought of that. Side deck here, we have triple Cyber Dragon, of course, for Chimera Tech Mega Fleet. Triple copies of Ghost Reaper and Yugioh Winter Cherries. I guess this is a target. I guess this is a target. I guess this is a target. I guess this can be a target. This is a target. This is a target. I guess this can be a target. This also can be a target. And this can be a target. More than 50% of his extra deck can be targets, I guess. Triple copies of Thunder Dragon for that cheese ball play I just told you guys about. Triple copies of Hate Trunade, because bouncing back row is fucking hilarious. And, of course, triple copies of Evenly Matched, wrapping up this bad boy. I gotta give it to Dinomist. I absolutely think that this deck is a lot of fun. I think a lot of people should try this deck. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit expensive because of the Thunder Dragon stuff down here, but when meta can meet meta and things like that, that's where things can start to get spicy. So guys, please, comment down below, tell me what you guys think about the top 64 list, and well guys, I'm out. Peace. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a Truffle Shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanquil40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.